Welcome! This is just another Star Wars podcast. I'm Gibbs A Gaming. You can call me Gibbs. I'm here with my co-host Space, and we have a couple of guests with us today. We're here with a couple of friends from the Battlefront 2 community, and they go by the names of Snips and Yoda. And these are good friends of mine, and I want to welcome them on. First off, how are both of your guys' days going?
Yeah, very well, thanks.
All good, thank you.
There we go, straight into it.
So first off, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Obviously, we were having some technical difficulties with Discord earlier, so we had to move over here to Twitch. And like I said, I want to thank you guys for coming on. And Space has got to hop off. But like I said, I'll still be here, and we'll still be here. We're gonna be asking these guys some questions, and hopefully, we're just gonna have some fun here. This is just another Star Wars podcast. Haha, I see what I did there.
I love it.
Anyway,
I love it.
it's
Good
great.
Stuff. Perfect.
All right, so first off, Yoda, I'm gonna ask you first. How did you get into Star Wars?
So it originally starts from my childhood. I obviously had a strong pull to Star Wars. Collected figures. I was always playing the games, things like that. And obviously from there, with Battlefront 2, when it released, that was a big opener for me, and it obviously opens more avenues.
I mean, yeah, I 100% respect that. Getting into Star Wars can be easy sometimes. It can also be really hard sometimes. So I 100% understand that. Snips, how about you? How did you get into Star Wars?
Oh, I've always been a massive fan of John Williams, and Star Wars is such a huge part of John Williams' canon in music. So through the music of Star Wars first, and then watched them and kind of fell in love with them that way, and then been a fan ever since.
Yeah, to be honest, John Williams creates some pretty nice music. My personal, all right, hold up. Now that you brought up John Williams, favorite John Williams song from Star Wars?
Across the Stars, the love theme.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
I would not have expected that, to be honest.
I'm probably going to have to go with Duel of the Fates. I absolutely love that.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That and Anakin's Dark Deeds.
Yeah, that's an excellent
Definitely
choice
the
as well.
two best. Anakin's Dark Deeds, great ones. Oh my god, I'm in a sweaty game with some people. That's funny. The music can really draw you in on Star Wars. I 100% agree. I actually, if you don't mind me telling, but I actually got into Star Wars through my great aunt, and she showed me all the every episode before, during 2008, and so I 100% understand. I went directly to the movies, and then I watched the Clone Wars for the first time. So that's how I got into it. So starting off, we're gonna have a little segment. We're gonna be called Ranking the Movies. I'm gonna do this with every guest and co-host that currently comes on. But so Snips, I'm gonna ask you first.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna ask you a rating on a scale from 1 to 10. How would you rate each Star Wars movie? So first off, we're gonna go with The Phantom Menace.
Oh, 8 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not expect that. The Phantom Menace?
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I just have a soft spot for it. Qui-Gon Jinn
I do understand.
an excellent character, so that's probably the reason.
I was about to say, yeah. What would you give? What would you give it, Yoda?
I'd probably be less forgiving. I'd probably give it a 7. Again, I love Qui-Gon Jinn. He's probably one of my favourite characters, and it obviously restarts the prequels. And yeah, apart from that, obviously it's got its cheesiness, but it's still a good movie.
All right. So Attack of the Clones, Snips. What do you think of it?
Oh, I think a 6 or a 7. It's not a personal favorite. Oh, it's not one that I go back and watch regularly.
That's high. That's a high rating for Attack of the Clones.
Mm.
Very high rating.
Definitely.
I would not have expected a 6.
I like all of them.
Dang.
I like all of them.
Yeah, so do I. But like, well, I actually hold up. Wait, I do have personal qualms with the sequels. So, but other than that, but yeah, but 6 really. I just didn't expect that.
I'd probably be
So,
the same, to be honest. In terms of the Attack of the
okay.
Clones, yeah, definitely a
I was
6.
about to say, can I ask why? Can I ask why you guys have it rated at like a 6? Like I said, I'm not gonna shit on anyone's opinions of anything, but I'm just interested. Why?
I mean, obviously, with the Phantom Menace, that restarts the sequels from the prequels, and to be quite honest, like Attack of the Clones, yeah, it's got a good storyline, but at the end of the day, like my favourite parts are probably the Battle of Geonosis, and obviously the ending part where you actually get to see things come together.
Okay, so kind of like leading into like episode 3, kind
That's
of.
it,
Well,
yeah.
obviously, yeah. Well, obviously, there's a 4-year gap between there.
Yes.
So,
Definitely.
obviously, with the Clone Wars filling in, so that makes sense. So yeah, so all right. So now let's move on to episode 3. Snips, what are you thinking?
Oh, it is my favorite one.
I know,
So,
yeah.
Yep.
Amen to
Yep.
that.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 11 if I could.
No, I honestly, I do respect that. I really do, because I'm the same way, to be honest. I really am the same way. So,
I'd probably agree with that.
well, like I said, it's just a great movie. I mean, Hayden Christensen being Anakin Skywalker, playing that, like, falling to the dark side. Mwah! Who is this guy?
No, I 100%
Oh.
agree, and I'm on the same page with that, because in terms of Revenge of the Sith, it comes full circle, and I think in like my opinion as well, it's probably on a high 9 or 10, and it's just for the simple fact of everything we expected, it all happens, and it happens in a spectacular fashion.
Yeah. I mean, the cinematography was great in that movie. Like, you cannot deny it had 3 of the best fight scenes in Star Wars history.
Even the soundtracks, when you look at them, like March from the Jedi Temple, things like that, Order 66, and you know, the list goes on, and it's absolutely outstanding. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. I mean, you literally get. I mean, you get Anakin's dark deeds introduced. You get Duel of the Fates and Anakin versus Obi-Wan. You get Battle of the Heroes. That's an underrated song in Star Wars.
Definitely.
So, all right. So, moving on to the next movie. What about Episode 4? Yoda, I'm gonna let you take this one for the sequels.
Episode
Or
4.
for the for the New Hope.
I mean, in
What's it
terms
for
of
you?
that, I do like it. It was the beginning of a era and the beginning of a franchise. However, you know, I'm very biased when it comes to it, because I think Rogue One ties in nicely to that, even though it's not part of the original, you know, 3 trilogies. New Hope, I think it would probably be near the bottom of the list. Even though it sets up the story, it's got brilliant writing, brilliant characters. I don't know, it still lacks the action that I desire, and that's from personal opinion.
I mean, one thing I do give it some leeway, because it was made in what, 1981? Am I right to say that? Or is it made in the 70s and I'm stupid?
No, you're correct. It was around that time.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, for a movie that was made in 1981 or something like that, that movie was great. I just don't, it compared to the other 2 movies in the original trilogy, it's just not good compared to the other 2.
No, totally. But it's like I said earlier, you know, it's the beginning of a franchise. That's the film that started everything within Star Wars. And, you know, what we have today, we're quite spoiled as Star Wars fans, and I think it's absolutely brilliant how far it's come. But yeah, it's definitely a starting point. I will say that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good start. I mean, it was a decent starting point. Obviously, we didn't get the major character. I mean, we got some of the major characters, but we didn't get like Palpatine or Vader really until Episode 5. I mean, yeah, did we know who Vader was? But Episode 4 brought those characters in beautifully, and they introduced them to show why the Empire was really fucking powerful.
Yeah.
So, all right,
100%.
so moving on to Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. What do you guys think of it?
That's got a soft spot in my heart, if I'm being honest, because obviously that's where you see the progression of Luke, especially like his storyline. He progresses and he's slowly coming to grips with what he's got to do. And I think even the scenes like when you go to like Cloud City, things like that, it introduced a whole new level of characters, and I did enjoy it for what it is, 100%.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Episode 5 was great. All right, Snips. Just so I don't take away your time by accident. What are your thoughts on Episode 5? Like,
I mean, I think
how would you rate it?
yeah, it's definitely up there. It wouldn't be one of my favorites, but I think, like Outlaw said, it definitely kind of builds on what you saw in Episode 4. Like, Star Wars is such a big franchise from 1977 to 2022 now. Seeing how much it progressed from Episode 4 to Episode 5, considering they didn't know what they were really doing in Episode 4, or how it was going to tie into a lot of the bigger stuff. But Episode 5 kind of situates it in what the world is and what's going on and the politics of it, and we really get to see a lot of the characters, like you said. So yeah, definitely high up on my list.
Yeah, no, Episode 5 was like, because Episode 5 was created in 85, I think. So it 100%, I actually don't trust me on these dates. If you're, my knowledge on when they're released can be a little shaky. So I think it was 85 is when
Or 1980.
it was released.
1980.
Yeah.
But yeah,
1980.
That's right.
Oh, that was episode. So it was 1977 was
Yeah,
New
Episode
Hope.
4.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah. So the 85 was. It took them 5 years to make Return of the Jedi, or is it 83?
83.
83
Yeah, it's 3 years
for
between them, yeah.
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important thing, because at the end of the day, we wouldn't have had a franchise if it wasn't for A New Hope. That started absolutely everything, and I feel pretty blessed to be in that era where we can enjoy all of them for what it is.
Yeah, 100%. And like we were touching on, oh my God, like we were touching on, not Revenge of the Sith, but Return of the Jedi earlier. Let's actually move over to that movie. So what do you guys personally think of Revenge of this? Not Revenge. Well, I want to keep saying Revenge of the Sith. God, I just love the movie too much. It's Return of the Jedi. I'm stupid.
I'll be honest, from my point of view, that is again with the prequels, that is the full circle. You see Luke where he's come from a farm boy on Tatooine, and he's come full complete to a Jedi Master. He obviously, he saves his dad, he defeats the Emperor, and, he's one of the few Jedi, apart from Anakin, that actually wears black through the whole of his process. And I think it's absolutely beautiful, especially like the music, cinematography, even the scenes, absolutely outstanding.
Yeah. All right, Snips. What's your take on Episode 6?
I love it as well. I think it definitely is like a full circle moment, especially if you like knowing what we know now, watching them in chronological order. it's definitely a full circle moment. It's also probably one of the saddest of the movies, I'd say, in my opinion. You know, you have that ending where it's like everyone's celebrating, and then you just have Luke off, you know, having the funeral of Vader or Anakin, and finally seeing Anakin for what he was and not as Darth Vader. So I think it's brilliant, and it, like, cinematography, music, acting, everything is brilliant. But there's also that bit of sadness in it, that it's like, you know, he was the only one that was there for Anakin, how great he was, and how many people, you know, really cared for Anakin when you see it, and how many people have lost their lives up until that point. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. There's a lot of levels to it.
100% with that.
Yeah, it was a great way to end off in my opinion, the best trilogy. Even though Revenge of the Sith, I think, is the best movie.
Ooh,
so,
yep.
But that's just me. It's not, like I said, that's my own opinion. But like I said, Revenge of the Sith, no, my God, Return of the Jedi was definitely the best. In my opinion, it wasn't better than Empire Strikes Back, but it was up there enough to where it was able to contend with that kind of movie, and it was a beautiful send-off for the original trilogy. So I 100% agree with what all you guys are saying.
Gibbs, if you don't mind me asking, so you know, like Empire Strikes Back, like in the comparison to Return of the Jedi,
yeah,
what, in your opinion, why do you feel like Empire Strikes Back is better than Return of the Jedi? I'd be interested to hear.
So that's actually an interesting question. So the reason I think Empire Strikes Back is better, because even though it was made at a later date, it felt more meaningful during Empire Strikes Back. Because imagine what you're finding. So, because Empire Strikes Back sets up a lot of the stuff in the prequels and the sequels, compared to Episode 6, where you don't see much setup in both of those movies. So Empire Strikes Back sets up Palpatine completely. Obviously, we knew who Emperor Palpatine was going into the prequels because we heard the name in Empire Strikes Back, and not Revenge of the Jedi, but actually, wait, Return of the Jedi. God, I'm never gonna get that down in my brain ever. But yeah, but it set up a lot more stuff, and it felt more meaningful, because imagine hearing that your father is one of the most evil people in the universe. Like, can you imagine that?
That'd be a lot of weight, and like, to coincide with what you said, I think like The Empire Strikes Back, it definitely has one of the best battle scenes, and I think it will be remembered in anyone's Star Wars history or memory. The Battle of Hoth, that set the standard. So I agree with you on that.
I was about to say, we also don't see much in media the fact that that we don't ever really see the bad guys win, ever.
No.
So seeing a movie like Empire Strikes Back where they completely obliterate Hoth like it was nothing. Obviously in Episode 4, we saw Alderaan destroyed by the Death Star, but we just can't. But that just didn't feel as meaningful because it wasn't really a rebel base. All we knew it was Leia's home. That's all we knew it as. Like, were we really supposed to find it important? I personally didn't think so. I didn't feel bad. I mean, once I found out Bail Organa was from Alderaan, I felt pretty sad. But that was it.
That's when the prequels actually come into effect, because before the prequels, it's like you say, it was Leia Organa's home planet, but did we have any attachment to it? Me personally, no.
We to be honest, I had way more attachment to Hoth, because think about it. Luke literally had to survive in what's their faces? Camel-looking motherfuckers.
Oh, yep.
I forgot what they're called.
Tauntauns.
That's what they're called. But he had to, but we already had way more powerful scenes. Like, that was the first time we properly saw Luke use a lightsaber, like, for real, for like an actual purpose, and not just training. He had to use it in a survival situation. Like, imagine seeing Anakin's lightsaber for the first time being used properly in, like, a proper situation where they need to survive.
No, you're right there.
So, I mean, like I said, I just felt more meaning in episode 5 than I did episode 6. Sure, seeing Vader turn back into Anakin was great, but it's like, okay, we really didn't know. Okay, that's your father. That's fine. Who cares? Okay, that's okay. But then when the prequels came out, we cared more. Why? Because we got depth. We got depth. The first time that I actually ever watched 1 through 6 fully through with the understanding of Star Wars that I have today, I felt way more sad about what I was watching, because you understand the story of Anakin Skywalker, a guy who was a slave to the Empire and the Republic. He's been a slave his entire life. So imagine dying, saving your child.
But that's where I also think, like, Return of the Jedi, it has a special place in my heart, because at the end of the day, it was the full circle. You got to think, like, a son saving his father, like, that was absolutely outstanding. And it's like you said, like, before the prequels, we didn't know who they were or what they were. We just got them on what each movie presented them as. And to actually finally find that Luke, he pulls through and he actually saves his dad, like, that's absolutely beautiful in my eyes, and that's why it always has a special place in my heart, The Return of the Jedi. Empire Strike Back, it certainly has its positives, I tell you. Battle of Hoth, #1. Oh yes.
Is it personally one of the? To be honest, it's one of the personal best offensive displays in Star Wars history. You seen AT-AT for the first time? That was the first time I think that was the first time we ever saw an AT-AT. And You saw how big those things were. You saw how powerful they were. We were just like, oh, well then. This big thing is supposed to be. This big thing is supposed to be the absolute destruction of the Empire.
And it's so much power against such a small force trying to fight an overwhelming power. And yet, they come through. They really do.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. All right, so moving on from the original series, now we move on to the sequels. Ugh. Episode 7. What did you guys personally think of Episode 7?
Go on, Snips.
So
he's got some words. It sounds like.
I've seen how toxic the Star Wars overall community can be about the sequels. I think I'm in the camp that we should just be grateful that we're still getting content in our times when it's a franchise from 1977. I mean, I love watching TV and movies, and I can name 100 franchises that I've watched, and I've been devastated they end after 6 seasons or 6 years or whatever. I think we're so grateful to be getting content from 1977 to now. So I'm just grateful. Again, are they perfect? No. Are some of them terrible moments? Yes. Do we get some cool moments? 100% yes. Maybe it's not the storyline, maybe it's not the characters, but even just the upgrade of the cinematography in terms of seeing, Star Destroyers and the First Order, mimicking a lot of the designs from the Empire, to the updated stormtroopers, to the costumes, to everything. I think, there's a lot to be grateful for, even though, some people are so hateful about it. So that's my view on them. I think they could have improved them a lot, but I do enjoy them for what they are.
Yeah, I was about to say, Yoda, what say you on this? Because, like I said, obviously everyone has their own opinions on the sequels. I've heard people like them, people people hate them. So,
yeah.
So what's your personal opinion on them?
I'm definitely with Snips on this one. I absolutely love the fact that the franchise got reinvigorated and we've got more content, because ultimately, like, this is a longevity franchise and it's withstood the test of time. Do I agree with how it was written? No, possibly not. Do I love the cinematography and the battle scenes and the actual effects? Yes, 100%. I do think, especially with, episodes, it was a lot of it was rinse and repeat. I think it works to reinvigorate the franchise, but do I think it's perfect? No.
I can 100%. Episode 7 is one of those episodes where I can go either way. I can hate it or I can love it. But like I said, I can't really say if I hate it or love it because, like I said, the cinematography was great. It brought us new things. It was like, to be honest, episode 7 kind of felt like episode 4, but with more added to it. It's just what they did with it was wrong. So, like, okay, I'm going to be brutally honest right now. If someone that's never picked up a lightsaber and swings it like a baseball bat can beat somebody who is trained in lightsaber combat 4 and 5, Kylo Ren, if they can lose, then that's where I think something goes wrong. 100%.
But the one thing
it was...
Oh, yeah, go on, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, all I was going to finish with was the fact that is that just better writing choices is what could have made episode 7 a great movie. Like, they could have introduced Rey, maybe have her fight Kylo, just not win.
I think
wait, no, you were going. I've interrupted you twice.
No, honestly, I'm so passionate about it. The only reason I'm thinking is because it's 100% what you said. Writing choices, yeah, they could have been better. But I think with the new reinvigoration of the trilogy, or so to speak, they had so much potential. It's just, I don't know who was taking the helm or what they were thinking, but they just didn't capitalize on it. The effects and everything else, beautiful. Absolutely outstanding. But
yeah, it was beautiful to see like that good of a movie in the type of quality we got, because we got to see I'm pretty sure episode 7 could be seen in 4K, right? Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you see, like, seeing a Star Wars movie in 4K is absolutely amazing. Like, imagine seeing a cracked crystal in episode 5 or even episode 2. Could you imagine how, like, effective wise how that would look compared to what we got in episode 7 that came out in 2017? I mean, it's just amazing, like the amount of work and effects they did on it. It's just the writing is what screwed it. It's the same thing with episode 2 and 1. I mean, well, to be honest, I personally liked 1, but episode 2, just bad writing, screwed it. So yeah. It's like, yeah, episode 2 just got screwed by bad writing. So that, like I said, that's all I have to say personally on episode 7. You guys got anything more to say about episode 7 before we move on?
No.
Perfect. All right, now to the worst movie, the worst Star Wars movie I have ever seen and will ever see in my life. Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Ooh. Someone explain to me the tragedy of not Darth Plagueis the Wise, of episode 8.
Again, it's a very touchy subject because, again, I love the cinematography. It was absolutely outstanding. Even the battle and the fights. I mean, great. That was absolutely phenomenal.
It was beautiful.
It was
beautiful.
That's almost on the verge of Hoth, when we look back at The Empire Strikes Back. That was almost on that level. It was a trench fight, the underdogs versus the Empire, and it was brilliant. But yet, the writing, do I agree? The forced wokeism, as it were, do I agree with that? Not necessarily. But overall, I enjoyed it for what it is.
Wow, really? Okay, Snips. All right,
Yeah.
I want you to give me an honest explanation. Don't give me what people want to hear.
Okay, so I'm a little bit biased because it was filmed as part of it in Ireland. Octu is a lovely island down in Kerry. So,
Oh,
a little bit
yeah,
close
I
to
was
my
about
heart.
to say.
I had a family, I had a family member work on the movie, so I can't say too many bad things.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
That's cool.
But I think, looking at it from an outside perspective, because I love film and I'm involved in film and different things, if you have, it's the same with any medium, whether it be a novel, podcast show, TV series, when you change director and you change that figurehead in the creative team, obviously things are going to go wrong. So when they switch director for The Last Jedi, and he seems like such a passionate person about Star Wars, obviously everyone has their own take going into it. So to have that seamlessness from 7 into 8 when you've changed the main person, the main decision maker, that's you're always gonna run into issues with anything in life. Like I said, any medium, any decisions. And I think that was just one of the, if not the main issue with it, was the changing creative team, because the rest of it was, cinematography wise, that scene, the Holdo maneuver, when she turns and goes through the First Order ship, that is in itself just, I don't even know. When I saw that in the cinema, like, that was just incredible. Just that tiny 10-second scene alone. But I don't agree with some of the writing choices. I don't agree with some of the direction of it, but it is what it is, and it gave us some incredible moments. Crate, for example, the cinematography in Crate, and even kind of, because I'm a huge Rebels fan, and like the animated series Clone Wars and Rebels, it kind of gave me that feeling of Rebels again, where it's like, that the core group against the world.
The underdog,
when they were on Lothal fighting in the final bits of Rebels. Sorry, spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched it, but it gave me that feeling. They felt trapped. They felt like they couldn't do anything, and it was them, tiny group of people versus an entire empire, and in this case, the First Order. And it really resonated with a lot of the audience, I think, but it was overshadowed by the fact that it just certain takes on it weren't good.
The murder of a writing the most murderous of writing. Was that J.J. Abrams who wrote that movie, or was that someone else? Or was that Roland?
Rian, yeah, he was the director, yeah.
Rian Johnson, for that one.
Yeah, it was Johnson, yeah. See, like, ironic, right? The two best movies in the sequels are made by Abrams. But even though they're still both not the greatest.
Yeah.
But I think even again, like, it's like Snip said, like, I think, it was a shame that the creative, people involved had to differentiate from the first one, because I think if they kept that consistency, there would have been a consistent storyline. And I think, like Snip said, I think there was the passion there with Rian Johnson. He had it there. However, I just think the way it was executed and the way that maybe influences were passed, it just didn't pay off, and it felt like a letdown in certain aspects. But again, the Battle of Crate, I absolutely love that. That's trench warfare at its finest, with the rebels against, the underdogs versus an overwhelming power. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, like I said, Episode 8 had the potential to be one of the greatest Star Wars movies of all time, and it fell flat on its face. Like, Luke cutting himself off from the Force after Kylo's incident makes sense. However, the way that they did it just did not make sense completely. Like, okay, I get it. Luke's the most powerful. It could be potentially the most powerful Jedi of all time.
Well, George Lucas said it, didn't he? He was the most powerful.
Yeah, no, he was supposed to. He's more powerful than Yoda, even though his lightsaber skills didn't show it.
But we only saw a snippet of what he was meant to be. I mean, I must admit, I'm with you on this. I think it was a bit of a letdown that Luke, he wasn't there in form. I think even if Luke was actually there physically, I would have been a bit more complete because I could have actually said, yeah, he was there, he made his stand, he did what he needed to do, but instead we get a false projection, and I was a bit let down with that, I must admit.
Yeah. I mean, okay, and I'm going to be honest, the throne room scene, every scene with the throne room in it.
Yep.
God, I can't even describe the throne room scene. See, after Kylo kills Snoke and they start fighting, they could have made that great, but Rey is still swinging like it's a baseball bat. Like, come on! You can see Kylo is using some type of lightsaber form. Like, at least they respected that. They kept it so that at least he was using a lightsaber form. But God, dang!
I mean, not everyone has Luke Skywalker for an uncle growing up, like Ben Solo did.
Okay.
The one thing.
Okay. See, here's the thing. See, here's my problem with that. I would have had a little bit less problem with that. However, she beat Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker, master of 7 forms, which would have apparently, well, at least in Legends, he was a master of all 7. Not sure about canon. But in terms of Legends, he was the master of all 7 forms of lightsaber combat. And in Episode 8, obviously, it looked like he was trying to use Form 5 is what he actually mainly uses. Him and his father, very similar. They both like to use Form 5. Actually, no, scratch that. Anakin likes to use Form 5 DM, so while Vader likes to use the same thing, but Luke likes to use Form 5 Shienso, which is more defensive with counterattacks. So, when you see someone like Luke Skywalker go up against someone who swings it like a baseball bat. I get she was trained in using a staff. I really do. I really understand. But riddle me this. Making riddle references. So like I was saying before I got myself off track, is that if someone that sucks, that is not good in any type of like staff combat, how are you supposed to beat one of the most powerful Jedi ever in a lightsaber? It wasn't okay. I get it wasn't a lightsaber duel, but come on, they were equivalent. That was equivalent. You cannot change my mind. That little staff fighting scene, my God!
I'm in agreement with you, but you have to remember, like Rey, her primary form of fighting, it was with a staff. She was, when she was salvaging things like that.
Which is why she should have had a double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, but
they missed out on that. They missed out on that. Or have a staff saber.
But the only 2 people I know of is you've got Darth Maul, who's on the dark side, who had a double-bladed lightsaber, or you've got Ponkrell, who then turned to the dark side. Apart from that, I can't think of anyone else.
Bastila Shan used the staff saber.
Or Shatil.
It was a double. I was about to say. Oh no, Shatil used a normal double-bladed, while Bastila used an actual staff saber. It may have not have looked like it because it was a new concept in 2003. A staff saber was not common, ever. At least in Star Wars up to that point, staff saber was never used until Bastila brought it out in Knights of the Old Republic. Okay. Wait, no, go.
No, I'm with you on this, because the one thing that peed me off with Luke is the way he took that 360 turn to the dark side where he was going to kill his nephew, and I'm not being funny,
that is not Luke Skywalker.
That is not
at all.
100%, and I agree with
that
you.
Was
on that.
100%. Bro, Mark Hamill even tried to argue with it, and he said, "Yeah, this is not Luke Skywalker," and they still went with it. Why do you go?
You don't
see, at that point, if I'm Mark, to be honest, at that point, I'm Mark. I'm just like, yeah, I will not play in this movie. I don't care if you have to sue me. I've already made millions from playing this same character. You don't think I can make more? So at that point, I'm just like, yeah, okay. At that point, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I will gladly Glad. Oh, god damn it, Snips. Why are you in my Twitch chat?
I'm just answering
That's the one.
your phone.
Oh, look at that. I like that. I'm not even in there, so.
No, but as I was saying, is that Luke? Wait, what was I saying before? Oh yeah, no. If Luke at this point, if Mark at this point just said, "Yeah, I just can't handle. I'm just not okay with this. This is not in character." Obviously, he's getting paid, so there's gonna be a little bit of bias behind it. That man is getting paid money to play a character he's been playing since 1977. Like, you don't think you're not gonna get paid for that?
But you look at his journey as a Jedi. He was one of the few Jedi that walked a thin line between light and dark. He was one of the few Jedi that wore black, including Anakin.
Yeah,
why he was going through his stages. Do you know what I mean? He would not kill his... That's not the Luke I know, personally.
That's definitely not the Luke we know, because that's 100% not Luke at all. I can't name one time in Legends in any of his things where he was willing to kill someone that's related to him. Maybe his son, because he turned over the dark side, but not even then he wasn't even all right with it.
It's not the Luke we know. Like, he's had to teach himself majority of the time, and he's had to, you know what I mean, he walks that thin path between light and good, and you're telling me he wants to kill his nephew because he can't handle him? I'm sorry, I don't personally believe that.
Bro, so you're going to tell... So, okay, hold up. So we could make the same argument with Obi-Wan, but come on.
Yeah, like, but he never
Obi-Wan
did.
Had to be there. Yeah, I was about to say... I mean, not even Anakin Skywalker, not even Darth Vader was willing to kill his son. You really think Luke Skywalker was willing to kill his nephew?
We can't compare Darth Vader. I'm not being funny. When he was in the Jedi Temple, the younglings...
well, that wasn't his child. Oh, I have a defense. Anakin was innocent there. That's not his child.
No, but it's children.
Yeah, those younglings deserved it.
Oh, wow.
Younglings.
This is where the fun begins.
He definitely said that 100% before he killed them. Before he diced those younglings up like it's tomatoes for a taco.
But I think that's where we're probably at a disadvantage, because we've always been under this influence where Luke has been this perfect embodiment of a Jedi. You know, not
that's Obi-Wan. That's Obi-Wan 100%. He's what a Jedi should be.
Yeah, and Obi, but also Luke, because he came from a farm boy in Tatooine all the way up to a Jedi Master, even a Grand Master actually. And you're telling me he wants to kill his nephew over some differences? Sorry.
Because of the fact he turned to the dark side, it's not like he turned the most one of the most evil people, potentially more evil than Sidious. He turned one of the most evil people in the galaxy over to the light side. It's not like he did that or anything. Yeah, no, Luke turned Vader, so that's what I'm comparing that to.
Yeah.
So it's not so you're gonna tell me with the influence of Snoke that he could not turn Kylo back? Pfft, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No way.
Leia, I'm gonna be honest, Leia probably would have turned him back.
What do we think about that Leia Superman moment?
Nope.
What do you think of it, Snips?
No. Yeah, I was about to say, what do you think of it, Snips?
No comment.
Even he knows it's bad. He's a squeaker.
What?
What?
Snips is a female, you know that.
I do apologize. Please don't ban me.
Snips is a squeaker. Oh dear, oh dear. I think the dark side's taking you, Gibbs.
Oh, I would 100% would be the dark side. I know this. Bro, if I could be trained by anybody, I'd be trained by Revan.
That's a good choice, actually. Oh, but no, I think it's got the potential definitely in terms
Yeah,
of like the you know
the way everything was built up,
that's it.
potential.
My only discrepancy with it is that they didn't keep the same director throughout it all, because I think in Force Awakens, like I said, I think it was rinse and repeat. They used the same storyline. It was the same kind of,
Well,
nuances. But
I'm gonna be honest.
yeah,
It kind of felt like the sequels were just repeats of the original trilogy, does it not?
it does in a certain aspect, but I think they actually, I don't know what the plans were, but Snoke, for example,
Yeah.
he could have been a lot more than what he was.
Oh,
It,
100% agreed. I
I
do
was going to
agree
say,
with that.
should we move on to the next episode? Because that's the most juiciest one.
Yeah, yeah, no, episode 9, there's a lot to talk about there. Yeah, so actually moving on to episode 9. So what did you guys personally think of episode 9? I like how this is supposed to be the beginning segment and hold up. We're about 50 minutes in, but that also doesn't count like the
One
extra
does not
5
simply
minutes.
just stay on one segment. Come on, like.
Yes. Yes, absolutely agreed.
Go on, Snips. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I like it. I do. Unpopular opinion. I think it's
All
quite
of
good.
it or parts of it?
Again, the usual cinematography stuff. There are very strange parts where it's like, oh, I found a dagger and it happens to match this wreck on a random moon on Endor. Woohoo! Like, that's probably not great, but
I will admit, God, now that I hear it, I can definitely tell that she's a female. God, I feel stupid.
but
All right, so but you're right. Like out of nowhere, some random like the only daggers we really knew of, well, they were lightsaber daggers, and obviously there were like actual knife daggers. But the Mortis dagger was the only dagger that we really knew of that actually had some like sufficient. And now out of nowhere, we see some new dagger with what was it, Sith handwriting, something like that.
yeah, an old Sith language.
Yeah. So it's like, do we really, really need to, like, pull out of nowhere C-3PO can somehow read the Sith language?
Well,
I
he
mean-
can
I
read
mean,
multiple
I don't
languages,
think-
millions upon millions.
Yeah.
I
But
was
yeah,
about to say,
know what you
I
mean.
honestly don't think Anakin Skywalker developed him to be able to read the Sith language.
He
But that's just me.
repurposed him though, didn't he? He was a protocol droid that he like reprogrammed. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
he wrote-
assuming. I'm assuming from what
I mean,
from what I know, that it's like if the language ever existed, C-3PO knew it. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
He could
is-
even
is
read
just-
Ewok. Like, who can read Ewok?
Yeah. You don't know how to?
No.
I've actually learned. I could say I actually learned how to speak Ewok. I'm not joking.
Speak a sentence.
All right,
on the spot.
hold up. I'm trying to think. What do they have in the script? Don't know. He was talking to C-3PO. It's the clan leader. Solo Kipo.
All I know is
Something like
yup,
that. Something
yup,
like. Yup, yup.
That's all I know.
No, but like C-3PO, it is not even the AK episode. Yeah, like I said, a debate in episode 9 is something I'm not really fond. Like I said, no offense, episode 9. Abrams tried. He tried to build off what Johnson tried, and he just couldn't. He really couldn't. Like I said, no offense to Johnson as an actor, as a director, but God.
That's where I think the difference is, like, if they kept it's keeping the same person, the continuity. I think if they kept Abrams throughout the whole trilogy,
It's actually
would've-
decent, right?
he would have been able to make his what he had envisioned come true. However, I think the difference is, and one of the scenes that really pisses me off, the scene where Lando comes in. I absolutely love Lando as a character. He's brilliant. I love the actor. However, Are you telling me in the space of, what was it, 24 or 48 hours, they pulled a fleet together like that? Are you
Yeah,
telling
no,
me that was
that
just
is
their
very
waiting?
non-Star. Unless you're the Galactic Republic, Separatist Alliance, or the Galactic Empire, or I don't think you do that.
You
I
telling me
really
all
don't.
those ships
Maybe,
were just waiting, ready to go, and boom, go attack?
yeah, and then boom, out of nowhere, boom, you're able to pull over thousands of ships. See, okay, one thing I will admit, Ian McDermott shined.
Oh, he does.
Shined. Oh, bro,
He's the
I don't
emperor
care
in my
what
eyes.
Bro, he is the Senate. Don't you dare make fun of that man. That man is the Senate. He is not the emperor. He is the Senate. Don't you dare ever make someone as glorious as the Galactic Emperor again. Or I will kill you. You will die.
But again, how does that crinkly old man get around the galaxy making kids? Like, you telling me someone wouldn't be like, oh, hang on a minute, that looks like a Sith to me.
Not know? I was about to say, do you not know that? Do you not know that? How Palpatine had people younger than him that were him?
I'm assuming clones, but I could be wrong.
Yup, exactly. If you have not read Legends, which was confirmed, some Legends material actually appeared in canon. Wow, first, right?
What does that make Rey then? A clone?
No, that is as an actual child, because one of the Palpatine clones gained a consciousness.
Oh my god!
And so then from there, oh my god, I'm getting Brazilian. I've got what's its face retribution by Anakin Grey. Yeah, but wait, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Rey is an actual child, not just some clone. Even though that would have been so good if Rey was a clone. Could you imagine that storyline?
I don't know. I'm getting Starkiller-esque vibes from there.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Nice references. But yeah, but
then how does Rey? That's what I don't understand. See, the premise. I'll be honest with you. From the spoilable warnings, anyone who's watching, from the Force Awakens, right? When we see that ship going off, I don't know. I was leaning so much to an Obi-Wan, even though Obi-Wan's as pure Jedi as you can get. I thought it might have been that.
No, because you're right, because it lined up. Her age lined
yep.
up with her. No, hold up. Actually, it was what, 20 in the Force Awakens, something like that.
Around that.
And it would have been about. It would have been just earlier, right? Just earlier before Episode 1 that what's its face came out. The whole what's her face? Queen of Mandalore thing happened.
Oh yeah.
So I honestly see a lot of people wanted it to be Satine and Obi-Wan's child, which I would have not been our mind to see that, because then they could have gone into a different direction. However, her being Palpatine makes sense. It makes more sense to be Palpatine than an Obi-Wan.
Oh, more sense to be a Palpatine? Are you? Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
See, my reasoning behind it is because naturally gifted in the Force.
Yep.
Because to be honest, Obi-Wan may have been powerful in the Force, but I don't think he was powerful enough to have someone immediately natural in the Force. Palpatine is so powerful in the Force that it makes sense that he would have someone like that. Obi-Wan just doesn't seem like that. I don't think anyone from the Council, except for Anakin and Yoda, to be able to have someone like that, because Anakin's the chosen one. So there's nothing. I mean, Anakin's the chosen one, so that makes sense for Luke and Leia.
How was Palpatine going out there? One of these crusty old clones just going out there and chatting someone up on Coruscant or Naboo.
But because the thing is they probably learned how to cut themselves off so Palpatine wouldn't find them.
but then so did Obi-Wan. He cut himself off from the Force.
He didn't cut. No, he actually didn't. You want to know why? Because the reason they didn't find Luke or Obi-Wan, Force shield. That's the reason Obi-Wan got old that fast.
I thought
think you two are putting more thought into this than they did.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think we'd be better off making our own movies out of this, but that's my only downfall with it. Like I said, I love the effects. I absolutely love the battles. Do I agree with what Lando brings into the battle? No. But apart from that, they did as well as can be with what they had.
Yeah, and to be honest, like they did as best as they could for sending off Leia after Miss Fisher died. What's her first name?
Carrie.
Wait,
Carrie.
Yes. Why did I forget that? I'm not a Star Wars fan.
That's sacrilege.
Oh my god.
Right, that's sacrilege.
Oh my god, how do I not remember? But yeah, after Carrie Fisher died, it was a beautiful way to send her off. Like her just laying on that table, dying, like how Vader was being burned after Episode 6.
I've got a question.
Anyone else catch that? I was about to say, did you catch that? She died exactly the way Vader was being burned.
What's your saddest moment in Star Wars history?
Oh, I hate you. Episode 3.
Yep.
Actually, hold up.
I've got
Hold
mine.
up. Anakin, you're breaking my heart. I hate you. You are my brother. You were the chosen one. Oh, and by the way, I can 100% recite the whole conversation between Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Do it.
All right, hold on. I gotta get in the mood. Hold on.
Don't pull up Google.
So, no, I'm not. So hold on. I gotta remember. If I can remember the first line, I bought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire. Your new empire. Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance to the Republic, to democracy. If you are not with me, then you are my enemy. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try. Super Star Wars nerd. That's how you know I knew too much into this.
All right. That was good. That was good.
That was...
God, by the way, that's on the podcast. That will be being said. I will make sure of it.
Oh my god.
My saddest moment has to be Order 66.
Yeah, no, okay. You want to know what? Yeah, okay. Or no, actually, I don't know. Order 66 just didn't seem, because I just didn't have a connection to the Republic. It was more the Jedi. See, and the Jedi that I actually cared about didn't die. And the only Jedi I actually cared for was, I obviously cared for Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin. But that was really it. I mean, Mace Windu was cool, but God, was he a dick.
But you got to think, you just said it there. Your attachment was to the Republic. That was the day the Republic fell.
No. My. Oh, hold on, wait. Did I say no? My attachment was not to the Republic. No, it was not to the Republic.
So who was it to?
It was Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. That was it, because those are the only three that I really cared about.
That's fair enough. But even still, was that not sad? Like, come on. That's the day they fell.
Okay. I mean, to be honest, I kind of figured the clones had some other use before. I mean, I was also really young when I first watched episode. So I didn't really understand it all. And once I understood it, I'm just like, oh, well, I guess, because I've already seen it. If I watched episode 3 today, I would probably feel a lot more sad. If it was my first time watching it.
But that music, that's the day the Republic falls, the Jedi falls.
Oh,
it's
and Anakin's Dark Deeds, that music, that's sad. Very sad music there.
What about yourself, Snips? What's your saddest point in Star Wars?
Oh, I don't know. Probably, obviously,
I've got an idea.
100% Revenge of the Sith. 100%. From
just the entire movie?
No, the ending, obviously.
Oh, okay. So you're talking
Personally,
about the.
personally, and if I take a different take from what you have said, because like you've made good points, um, the moment in the Last Jedi where Luke hands Leia Han's the dices from the Millennium Falcon, he just says no one's ever really gone. I don't know. That just got me because it was the last mention of the three of them together as the iconic trio. So that no one's
brings
ever really gone.
goosebumps up.
Yeah. And then definitely the ending of the Rise of
yeah.
Skywalker
Speaking of,
with
I was about
all
to
the
say, speaking
voices.
of episode. I was about to say, speaking of episode
voices,
7,
yeah.
we got to see. By the way, we got to see Anakin. I mean, not Anakin, but we got to see Luke, Leia, and what's his face, Han in the same movie, not on the same screen though. We got to see Leia and Han, but no Luke. What is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think-
That got me.
I think Snips has got a special moment, you know, when Obi-Wan gives that message to the Jedi Temple.
Oh, in Rebels.
Yeah,
In Rebels,
got it.
yeah. The holocron message from Rebels, that just gets me every time.
If I had to pick out of the TV shows,
Yeah.
saddest moment, what's its face? Season 7.
Bury in the text.
When Rex is fighting back against Order 66.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yes,
choice there.
you see the shaking, and then he says, "Fives, find him," and then fire. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That brings goosebumps up on my back of my
Yeah,
neck.
I actually just got goosebumps on my arm. God, no, because I remember watching it for the first time. And it's like, no, because based on what Rebels said, I thought the inhibitor chips would have been taken out by then, and then I see that and it's like, no.
I must admit,
Yeah.
like Dave Filoni, he did that justice episode,
Beautiful
like
man.
season 7.
Beautiful man. That man is the savior of everything Star Wars.
Yeah, the
He's
Clone
the
Wars
Jesus.
has some great moments. Clone Wars,
He is
definitely.
Jesus. Yeah. No, and then yeah, like I said, it had to be Rex fighting Order 66 because him at least in the TV shows, that's definitely the saddest moment for me. It may have came out before. It may have came out in 2020 or 2021, one of the two.
Yeah.
I just love the bit after that, even a bit after the following on that episode, the bit where they're overlooking down on the docking bay in Clone Wars, and they see them all lining up, and Rex says they're my brothers, but they're willing to die and take me and you along with them. And you're a good soldier, Rex, and so is every one of those men down there. What is it? They may be willing to die, but I'm not the one who's going to kill them. That moment.
People try and call Ahsoka a Grey Jedi when she was not a Grey Jedi, even though she used white lightsabers, because Grey Jedi technically don't exist. No, she was just a lightsaber user that just wasn't part of the Republic. Imagine how Revan was, but with the Jedi Council. He would have easily been on the Jedi Council if it wasn't for him denying going on the Council. Yeah, speaking of that, I'm doing the audio. I'm actually reading the audio Revan book. More like someone's reading it to me. You can find that online, literally. If you want to read the Revan audiobook, find it online. It's just sad though. God, there's so many sad moments in Star Wars.
You don't see Ahsoka as a Grey Jedi.
No, she's not, because the reason is Grey Jedi. So I have a little thing. You see, you know how have you ever played KOTOR? And
yes.
You have to memorize the Jedi, like what they stand for, right?
Yeah.
I have something of that. If you don't mind me letting me find it.
Yeah, go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Okay, here it is. So I'm going to read you the official Jedi one. I'm going to read you the official Sith one. Then I'm going to read you the made-up Grey Jedi one. There's no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There's no chaos, there is harmony. There's no death, there is the Force. That's the light side. Peace is a lie, there's only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. That's the Sith. Now, the Now I want to see if you think that this fits Ahsoka well. Flowing through all, there is balance. There is no peace without a passion to create. There is no passion without a peace to guide. Knowledge stagnates without the strength to act. Power blinds without the serenity to see. There is freedom in life. There is purpose in death. In all things, I am the Force. Does that really fit Ahsoka well?
Oh, I was.
No, it does not, does it?
But
She is a.
my only concern with that is you got to think Ahsoka abandoned the Jedi ways. She openly dismissed them when she got accused of, like, spoiler alert, anyone who's watching, she got accused of planting a bomb, and she was the one indicted by the Jedi. She abandoned that way. She continued on the light way, but she also treaded a thin line on the dark side, in my opinion.
No. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna have to disagree with you as Snips. I bet you love this episode in Rebels. What is it? Hold up. Twilight of the Apprentice, Part 2.
Yes.
Malachor. Because here's the thing. One thing that has been known in Star Wars, Malachor brings out the worst. Example, Revan. Actually, did Revan go to Malachor? I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm just not that far into the book. At least in the games, I don't think he did. So let me skip forward a little bit to KOTOR 2. In KOTOR 2, if you go to KOTOR or Moraban, or why am I calling it Moraban? It's not Moraban. Yeah. It's not Moraban. It's, at least to me, it's not Moraban. I forgot what it's called. Korriban. Thank you. So in Korriban, and Malachor, both heavy dark side planets. You can easily turn to the dark side at any point during any conversation on Malachor and Korriban in KOTOR 2. Maybe KOTOR 1 as well, because I know you do go to the Valley of the Sith Lords. So, in KOTOR 1. So, that's also, I think, the same thing. So it has been shown that planets like Malachor bring out the dark side. Ezra, big example. He used hate. He was able to open those doors. And look how easy it was for him to turn to the dark side like that.
That's where
Vader?
I think Ahsoka is a grey Jedi, because a grey Jedi is someone who, my understanding, I could be wrong, somebody who forsakes like the Jedi ways, but they still follow a path of good. So they don't necessarily stick to the Jedi code rules, but they still...
the closest thing that we've had to a grey Jedi is Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon, yeah. I think maybe she's unintentionally a grey Jedi. She doesn't class herself as a Jedi, because obviously you have that battle between her and Darth Vader on Malachor during Rebels, and he says, Anakin Skywalker was weak, I destroyed him. And she's like, I will avenge his death. Revenge is not the Jedi way. I'm no Jedi, which is an iconic line from Ahsoka. But I think maybe she's unintentionally a grey Jedi, because I've read the Legends, I've read all the novels, whether canon or not canon as well. Like, traditionally grey Jedi, and they do refer to Qui-Gon as a grey Jedi, was someone who never surrenders to the dark side of the Force, but treads that line, but also distances themselves from the Jedi Council, which she ticks all the boxes for. So maybe she doesn't class herself as a Jedi with that statement, I'm no Jedi, but maybe unintentionally she falls into that category, whether she knows it or not. Definitely follows the path of the grey Jedi.
I said, we definitely, like I said, I personally don't see it that way. She is a light side user who doesn't really use the dark side, because I think Mandalorian confirmed this for me, is that she wasn't willing to train Grogu. So that kind of confirmed my suspicions that Ahsoka, this is just more evidence that Ahsoka is not a grey Jedi. Because think about it, because like I said, she saw Anakin turn to the dark side. Well, technically, she sensed it. But as I was saying, is that she knows that the dark side is evil, even if allowing a little bit. And that's one thing I think that her meeting Luke was a good thing because she's willing, like I said, no offense to Luke, he's willing to go through all sides of the forces. However, one thing, if there's anybody that, what's his face, needs to talk to, Luke needs to talk to about the light side, at that current moment in time, it's Ahsoka. Because she's a light side user who follows the light side, just doesn't classify herself as a Jedi.
Hopefully we'll see more of it. The Ahsoka show coming 2023.
Yeah.
So we will probably see more.
Or maybe late 2022. You never know. Speaking of TV shows, moving on to our next topic. Now that by the way, this is only our first segment, guys. Hold up.
Sorry,
we've been going for about an hour. No. This isn't. No, like I said, this is great because we love talking Star Wars. That's one thing that we all love. All three of us have in common is that we have a passion for this. What I'm playing, what we're talking about, we have a passion for this. So moving on to stuff where we'll go off track, but somehow still keep it to the way. But still keep it to the way that we want it to be. Wait. I'm getting completely off track. I'm getting destroyed by an Hayden. Anyway.
I can see that.
So, yeah, but like I said, we just have a passion. But speaking of TV shows, the Obi-Wan TV show. So, obviously, that just came out. So, obviously, we have the teaser trailer for it and all that. So, I want to know, and obviously, it was just pushed back as we saw the announcement with Ewan McGregor come out. So now that you guys have seen that and all know that, by the way, that's a little spoiler for everyone that's here. The TV show is pushed back 2 days, and my guess is because Stranger Things season 4 is being released. That's my guess.
Makes sense.
They don't want viewership stolen.
It's a time for Stranger Things to be released, though. It's normally around Halloween.
To be honest, yes, agreed. But it was pushed back 2 days. And so, what are your guys' thoughts on it?
Snips, go on.
These things happen. It's hard to juggle it with TV and cinema, especially with Kenobi being on a streaming service. It's really hard to juggle. They've seen from previous things like Wednesdays and Fridays particularly do quite well on streaming services. And yeah, there is a lot coming out in May if you think about it. Like you have, I think, Doctor Strange coming out earlier in May. Currently have Moon Knight as well, so it could be something to do with how Moon Knight is going to pan out. And keeping enough dates between the two, but it's just a juggle. It's the way media and TV work. 2 days, at least it's not 2 months or 2 weeks, and we are getting 2 episodes, so. That's,
I was about to say,
better.
yeah, that's great. I think that kind of makes up. I mean, to be honest, 2 days being pushed back is a lot in TV time. Like, my favorite TV show is called Lucifer, and it was.
Oh no.
Lucifer, yes, good taste.
Gibbs, I was there with you when it got cancelled in season 3 and then got renewed and then got cancelled and then got renewed.
Yep.
I've been through the motions of that too, I know.
Yep, exactly. So that's actually a great example, is that you, like, waiting in TV time is so long.
Yeah.
Like, how see an example for me was when the distance between season Lucifer season 5A and season 5B was what? How long is August to May? How many months is that? I have no clue. It's not 3 months.
It's just under 3 months.
August to May, not May to August.
Oh. That's a lot longer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
9 months.
Is that 9? Is it really 9 months?
So.
Oh, it is 9 months. Yeah, it is 9 months. So think about that. So when I had to wait for my favorite TV show to release the second half of a 16 episode season, you wanna know how long that felt?
It felt like 2 years.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
2 days? 2 days in that time?
Yeah. I think at least you can celebrate on a Friday. People can, watch it later in the day if they want. Have a few drinks.
I still should have think they should have released it on Star Wars Day, May the 4th.
Oh yes.
That's when Multiverse of Madness, though. Marvel always has around that time. So May the 4th is multiverse, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So that was never
is it
going to
really?
happen. Yeah,
Oh, I did
that was
not know
never
that.
That
going to
makes
happen.
sense. Yeah.
Okay, then move the release day up by like 2. Then that's fine with me.
But anyway, what do you guys think? Because obviously, from anyone who hasn't seen the trailer, please go and check it out. At the end of it, I'm absolutely hyped because you hear the breather of Darth Vader, so you know he's going to appear in it. Do I know what capacity he's going to appear in it? No, because it's going to be very touch and go. Do I think they're going to clash? No, personally.
Jesus. Anyway.
Though I
Yeah,
could,
no.
I could
I
probably be wrong.
yeah, no. No, like I said, I don't think there's going to be any backlash to the Obi-Wan show because people love Ewan McGregor. They love, like I said, the prequel fans are going crazy. Like me, I prefer my favorite. I don't want to say this, no offense to the original trilogy, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to contradict what I said earlier, but subjectively, the original trilogy is the best. However, my favorite is the prequels. Mostly for episode 3, but it also built on my favorite character. Well, what at the time was my favorite Jedi until I discovered who Revan was during episode. But Anakin Skywalker is my favorite Jedi. So it built on the story of Anakin Skywalker, and then from there, and I just loved it. But then now with Obi-Wan coming out, it's going to deal with a lot of stuff from the prequels. Like Ewan basically confirmed that we're getting Anakin Skywalker, like Hayden Christensen playing Anakin. So that's gonna be a very interesting topic when that episode comes out, because obviously we're gonna see him as Vader, and we don't know if James Earl Jones is back as Vader's voice. So we could be getting a Hayden Christensen solo Darth Vader. So
It's definitely going to be interesting because obviously we haven't seen Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader apart from a few very small moments, and obviously because there's the transition in time in real life and also in the series between Revenge of the Sith and this, it's going to be definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah. I was about to say, that was one of the things that we kind of discussed before, is how Hayden Christensen coming back to Star Wars is huge.
Yeah.
Because I was watching a video the other day, and it was Star Wars, kind of like a Star Wars Comic-Con type thing. It was like 2017 or something, and Ian McDiarmid, George Lucas, and Hayden Christensen came back. They were on stage, and Hayden didn't look like he wanted to be there because obviously Hayden was hated back in the early 2000s for playing Anakin because of episode 2. And some people didn't like his performance in episode 3 either. So he was hated for years. And so then now when you go to 2018, 2017, and you hear people cheering him, he had the most skeptical face I've ever seen on a man. Ever. I mean, do you blame him though?
No, definitely after the backlash he got from playing Anakin in episode 2 and episode 3, I wouldn't blame him, and I think it's only with time people have come to really appreciate his portrayal of Anakin. I think at the time and even the following years after it, there was a lot of backlash. Like he like I think even at one point kind of stepped away from acting altogether because of it, and like people forget he was 19 when he did the first 2.
I was about to say, when he did Attack of the Clones, he was actually 19. His age matched up with Anakin's age, and he was 23 when Attack of the Clones. Wait, 2002? No, he would have been about 22 when when Revenge of the Sith came out. So around his age.
Yeah.
And and he was specifically made for that way. So when you have a character like Hayden coming back who has so much love in the Star Wars community nowadays, it's going to be huge, and everyone's going to enjoy it no matter what. And especially because of the fact that now, because we're actually going to see Anakin come back in Obi-Wan and in the Ahsoka series because of what Rosie O'Dawson tweeted out. Do you guys know about that tweet?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was about the whole, hey, Sky Guy, I'll see you soon or whatever, and then deleted it with a photo of her and Hayden. So it was like, wow. Not something you would expect.
Definitely.
I was about to say, Yoda, what's your
I think he's gone to get
thoughts?
a drink of water. I don't know if he's back yet.
I 100. No. Well, like I said, he's got talking Star Wars. Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, my mouth's gotten watery. God dang it! Why do you do this? I'm currently playing HVV. You can't be doing this to me.
Oh.
No, but Hayden Christensen coming back and the Obi-Wan series, just it's gonna be a huge hit. Like, people are excited for Space Jesus. Mostly, people want it for the memes. People want to hear the hello there. People want to hear the another happy landing.
I'm looking forward to the
hear
Inquisitor side of it, though. I think that's very interesting.
I do have a problem. The Grand Inquisitor,
Yes.
no. So yeah, Rebels did a great job with the Grand Inquisitor. They made him great. They made him look menacing, but they also kind of stole the look from the Son. So, but also, actually, no, technically they didn't, because the same species is actually in Episode 2.
I think it's 3 on Utapau. I think. Guy.
Was it Utapau?
Yeah, I think so. That's the picture that's going around, is like, oh, the Grand Inquisitor versus the guy from Utapau. But I think, I mean, everyone has a different take on things. I mean, look how they did. I don't want to spoil Book of Boba Fett, so close your ears if you haven't seen it. But like how they did Cad Bane.
To be honest, I don't care about the Book of Boba Fett anymore at this point.
But everything is
stopped
going to be different. Rebels is animated; it's easy to make people look a certain way, and obviously, there's only so much you can do without having it full.
I'm kind of surprised we actually just didn't see a. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't see a not Book of Boba Fett, but a Rebels version of Cad Bane. I'm kind of surprised.
Would have liked that.
No, because I would have liked to
I
see
think
what he
Cad
would have looked
Bane
like
was
in
quite
the Rebels.
underused, and I think that's
No,
the
in
problem.
the Clone Wars he was properly used. In Clone Wars he was properly used.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
be
Clone
honest.
Wars
And
he
then-
was, but the first real-time television point of view he got was Book of Boba Fett, and he
And
lasts
he
all
dies.
about four episodes, I think, or 3 episodes.
I mean, that episode just proved that Cad Bane was still a better bounty hunter than Boba. Quicker draw, better with hand to hand,
Well,
and you also need to realize Cad Bane was 100 years old in human age, in Book of Boba Fett. That man was 100, still pulling out his pistol in less than a millisecond.
he was.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
there's all the theories going around. Is Cad Bane dead? I
Yes,
think he is
yes.
personally. Yeah, I think he's quite underused. Because I tell you what, that first episode when you see him, like, spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched it. It was brilliant. See him coming out the desert haze, like, that was brilliant. But yeah, I think he was underused.
Yeah, no, I do agree that he should have been used more. But obviously we can't get all we want, and plus, like I said, Star Wars is being kept alive mostly by the fans, to be honest.
Well, you say the fans, but I also think, like, as much as I don't like Disney,
Dave actually more like Filoni's keeping it alive with the help of the fans, and Disney is giving it a chance to be itself.
I would say up to a certain extent, but it's just like you said. I think the two main people who have kept the franchise alive and kept it as true to its point, you look at Mandalorian, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Favreau and Filoni know what they're doing. There's a reason that they were given creative control by Disney to help. I mean, look at their successes. Oh, and he left. He said he'd be right back in a second. No, he said he'd be right back in a second. So we'll see. I'll re-invite him back. But yeah, I 100%, I 100% agree with what he was saying though, is the fact that I'm actually gonna go grab myself a drink of water, but the fact that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are keeping this series alive by themselves.
It's a long stretch, but I think they're doing it so well. I mean, I'm not being funny. Like, again, anyone who's watching this, spoilers ahead, so make sure you've watched it. But the Mandalorian series, that moment when, you know, Luke appears, oh my God, that music, the way he acted, that is how I envision Luke at his best, at his prime. He took care of, you know, a squadron, a platoon of over 30 troopers easily.
And remember,
No
these are
problems.
supposed to be the hardest troopers that the Empire has ever created.
Exactly. And he dealt with them no problem. And I love the resemblance between that scene when Luke comes through the lift and then
Vader's
again,
scene.
spoilers. Yeah, Vader's scene in Rogue One. Oh
Well,
my goodness.
like father, like son.
He outdid his dad. He outdid his dad. Like, no offense. Like,
No, you are tripping. You are you're joking, right?
do you reckon?
Yeah, no. I 100% will fully disagree with you on that.
You got to think those were dark troopers. Those were droids programmed to track down false sensitives. So their reaction time's going to be 10 times better than a human. Darth Vader went in with humans.
Vader went in absolute more badass than 100% Luke did. Luke came in. We saw him come in. We don't see Vader board that thing in Rogue One. We just see him we just see the thing open, lightsaber ignites, and he's immediately already just deflecting everything.
But that's where we've got to assume that's where the start of the battle begins. When as soon as Darth Vader comes through that door, that is when the battle begins. Whereas Luke, it starts way before that. He boards with his X-wing, and he takes out. I don't know. I don't want to put numbers to it, but there's got to be at least 25 to 30 dark troopers. Like, he takes them out one by one, and then he in a close corridor, and he still manages to best them. Whereas Vader, he bolts, boom. That's where we assume the battle begins with Vader. I think both scenes are as badass. I really do. But do I think Luke has the edge? In my opinion, yeah.
And now, and actually, yeah, that's a good point. And actually, this is where we can get on to the whole theories part of this podcast. Is that, like, there's been an argument going around with a couple of people that I know that was Luke is Luke in his prime, his absolute prime, like the Mandalorian / Book of Boba Fett, better than Vader in Rogue One and or Rebels? And I have an answer for that.
If you go back... Sorry, you go ahead.
No, I was about to say, no, it may be my show, but I want to hear you guys' answers.
I just from, because I was rereading recently the Vader novels, which are part canon, part not, but just from that alone, when they put Anakin in the suit and he became Darth Vader, it restricted his movement, and he had to learn a new style of fighting and how to move and how to do everything. And I think definitely agility-wise, Luke would 100% have the upper edge on that effect. Agility, movement, speed, range of motion, and maybe choices in lightsaber styles. 100% Luke in that aspect. But experience-wise and the Force, or powers-wise, I don't know. Vader's pretty badass.
I was about to say
Vader is pure brute strength. But one of my favourite scenes in the whole of Star Wars is that scene in The Mandalorian when Luke comes through on that X-Wing on his own, and he comes and saves the day. You know, that hero-esque style. That's my favourite, in my opinion.
No, and like I said, I do understand, but if I mind drop a little knowledge on your Snips, Luke, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned it earlier, Vader did have to change his fighting style, but he didn't change his fighting form. He used more strength instead of having to use his speed, because Vader in canon is slower than he is in Legends based on speed feats. However, he is more powerful when it comes to everything else. So, yes, he does have his movement restricted, but compared to his fighting style, he just used more power. There's a reason that most of the time when he beat his enemies, his strength is what caused people to lose. And I think that's what sent, what were you going to say?
Now, God, I was just going to say, but I think that's where Luke also comes in, because yes, he has the agility, but you see moments where, again, anyone who's watching, spoiler alert, he uses his pure strength and control of the Force. He literally drags those droids towards him, crushes them there, no problem, no, no buts given. He uses his raw strength to absolutely decimate them. Yeah, he has moments where he's a bit more agile, I will give that. But I think he actually outdoes his dad in that scene, me personally.
No, and like I said, I do 100% understand that. Like, Luke, but if I had to put it down to a one-on-one, I am taking Vader. And the reason is Vader is smarter than Luke when it comes to battle. And that's one thing Luke is really good at.
And you say that, but look at Return of the Jedi. Who won the duel between dad and son?
And I can drop a little bit of knowledge on you. Vader wasn't fully trying.
But why wasn't he trying?
Because it was his son. He didn't want to kill him because his son reminds him of Padme.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's one of like the primary reasons that that Vader doesn't kill. In Episode 5, we actually see him try and take striking blows, but only to the point where he would only injure him, like how, oh my god, I'm getting shot.
Only why are you playing me what con?
Yeah, because
I'm disappointed.
Because it's scary, that's why. But he took those chances at taking a shot at his son. He may have known that it was he may have known that it was his son, but at that point he didn't care. Until Luke actually started caring. Until Vader realized he could still be loved, that's when the whole conflict within him happened. That's when he realized that he could still be loved by somebody. And I think that's what made him become conflicted, was the fact that he could still be loved by somebody even after the horrible things he's done. And to be honest,
you reckon Luke in his prime versus Vader in his prime, so you reckon Vader would win that?
Yes, if Vader was actually trying in Return of the Jedi. Not Return of the Jedi. Oh yeah, Return of the Jedi. Okay, I'm now doubting myself because I was saying Revenge of the Sith so much earlier.
Yeah.
But if Vader actually tried, I would say Vader decimates. Not because he's more powerful in the Force, it's because he's a better duelist and he's strong enough to keep up with Luke.
But when you look at Luke, he's only ever lost. I'm trying to think.
To Vader?
So the duels he's lost one duel to Vader. That's the only duel, to my knowledge, that he's lost.
He's lost a couple of other canon duels, I think, early on.
But when you look at Anakin or Vader, he's lost to Dooku in Attack of the Clones.
That's early Anakin, so I can 100% understand that. He wasn't as skilled with a lightsaber at that point, so I 100% understand that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
I think that's
Ahsoka managed to crack his mask in Rebels and get a good
actually,
jump on him.
I was about to say,
I
was going to say
36,
something.
37 then.
I was about to say, I was going to say something about that. Is Ahsoka at that point was one of the would have easily been top 5 most powerful Jedi in the Republic if she stays and is that age. I will say that.
She was able to give Vader a good run at it, and that was only for many years. He was only, I think, in his 30s then.
And I think that's the difference. Like, when you look at Luke as a Jedi, pretty much most of it is self-taught. He's had some help from Force ghosts, such as Obi-Wan, Yoda, if you count that as canon.
Yep.
Whereas Anakin, he had full-blown training. Obi-Wan was his master. And when you look at the difference and the comparison, in my opinion, I think Luke comes out on top at his prime against prime Vader. That's my personal.
And see, like I said, we both have different viewpoints on it, which, like I said, like opinions are opinions. Because I bet you Snips thinks Rebels is the best TV show.
I do not. No, I appreciate it, but I do not think it is. No.
I'm funny. I'm a funny guy.
I appreciate all Star Wars content.
I
would say, should we, what do you want to do next? Because we discussed
actually,
movies, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, okay, so, have you guys been keeping up with the whole, the whole release stuff for Star Wars? Because I personally haven't. If you guys have, like, the whole, like, them releasing everything and stuff.
The schedule.
Yeah.
Kind of. I've kept up with it, yeah. When I have to.
Yeah. When you
I
have
to a certain point.
No, and like I said, I want to.
Hard.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it is, it's from what I've heard, it's a lot dependent on The Mandalorian currently. The Mandalorian Season 3 is in production, and they have been delayed by reshoots and Pedro Pascal's prior work on The Last of Us. So they were pushed back, so that means Ahsoka, which was due to go into production next, was pushed back, which means Andor has also slightly been pushed back.
Yeah.
It's...
Okay, hold on. Do you guys remember the Star Wars video game that's supposed to come out? I forgot what it's called.
Eclipse. Yes.
Okay, so
I do, unfortunately.
Okay, is that like a bad thing?
Well,
yes.
Yeah. Why is that a bad thing?
You can do your own research into this because I don't want to dwell on it for too long because I don't want to be quoted on it. But Star Wars Eclipse was being produced by a company called Quantic Dreams, and they do not have a good rep with employees and personal statements they have made in the past. There's a lot of people in the video game community, whether they be programmers, editors, VFX artists, or storyline writers, that do not agree with what Quantic Dreams has done, and they have had a really tough time hiring people. And the reason Eclipse has been pushed back to potentially 2027 or 2028, still to be decided if it's going to be scrapped altogether, is because Quantic Dreams cannot hire people.
Just give it to Dave Filoni and we'll see what he does.
But it's promising, but unfortunately, yeah, that is the current situation. They just can't hire. They can't hire for the game. Which
is a shame. It's a shame because
I just read up a little bit onto it, and it kind of seems like it's gonna be like a KOTOR type game, but instead you get to play with different characters and experience different types of stories. So
yeah, it was in very, very early production. They pushed that promotional video out when they really didn't have any idea, because they were still hiring writers and hiring staff, which they can't now. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
So Gibbs, I've got a question for you.
All right, what is it?
What do you plan for the future? How far do you want to take this podcast?
Like I said, I'm trying to go everywhere. Anything Star Wars news, I'll be taught. I want to try and talk, get special guests, talk about their experiences in Star Wars. Maybe see if they can flex their knowledge. And
How do people become a special guest?
literally, there's be like, hey, you willing to have someone on? I mean, you willing to have someone like me on? And I'll say, all right, how good's your Star Wars knowledge? Like I said, I want something like decent. I don't care if it's only canon. Like, I know I've met people who don't even know who Darth Revan is, that know exactly who who Monin is. Do you
Yeah,
have any idea who that is?
yeah,
Exactly
I
my
do.
point. Like, how do you know Monin, but you don't know Revan? Like, bruh. But
How
look,
how would people reach out to you if they're interested in doing this
um,
podcast with you?
it's actually a great way to do it is actually through Discord, or if you want to go to my YouTube's, Gibbs8 Gaming, or my Twitter, just tweet at me. You can easily find it. Plus, there will be a link to my Discord. There will be a link to the Discord once I hopefully find a way to stream it, of course. But if like through Discord and not through what's its face,
Yeah.
Twitch, which like I said, that kind of sucks that the whole technical difficulties thing didn't work out the way I wanted it to, because that would have been nice. Have people just listen in live and record. Would have been set. But obviously
That's
we
something for the future, though, man. It's good.
it's like I said, I love Star Wars. I love this. There's nothing I want more in this world than no offense to if I had to pick one media to continue to either play, watch, or read, Star Wars, 100%. No offense to my favorite show, Lucifer, but they don't have a video game. They don't have
Yeah.
they don't have a movie. They don't have countless amounts of lore you can learn.
The
They don't have
franchise
books.
is strong in you.
Like I said, my passion for Star Wars is so much. Like right now, if it wasn't for Milsims, I 100% would not be into Star Wars as much. 2020, I knew a decent amount about Star Wars, sure, but I just didn't know as much as I do now. I've probably spent more time researching more about Star Wars than I have with probably doing my schoolwork, to be honest. That's how much I love this. Not joking. But
No,
yeah,
and I tell you what, I thank you. I'll let Snips speak in a moment because I'm sure she feels the same. But I just want to take this moment and say thank you for having us on your podcast. I really do appreciate it. And the discussion we've had, it's been phenomenal. And it's good to touch base with someone who has the same passion within Star Wars, because it's a great thing. It really is.
it,
And look, here's to many more.
yeah,
Snips.
Yeah, no, same. I think it's great what you're doing. I think there's so much potential as well. There's so many different people with different interests, from legends to canon to all sorts. So I think you'll definitely attract a great audience.
oh yeah, yeah, no,
Interesting people to talk to.
and like I said, you guys are great, and um, yeah, but like I said, you guys were great, special guests. But like I said, we're gonna wrap this up. First, once again, I want to thank my special guests, Snips and Yoda, for participating in this. They are over on the East Coast. Not East Coast. They're on the more eastern side of the country. I mean, not country, but
European.
yeah,
European.
yeah, they're European. I just
European,
can't
mate.
speak today. But yeah, but they're up.
Don't worry.
But these guys were so dedicated and so wanted to do this that they're up at what, like 2 o'clock in the morning right now? Is it 2 o'clock for you
3
guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
3
3 a.m.
3 a.m.
3 a.m. for these guys to talk Star Wars. There's so much passion behind this, and this is exactly what we're going to. This is exactly what we're gonna want going forward from a bunch of other people. And like I said, I'm willing to have you guys on at any time. All you gotta
And
guys
we're
do is ask.
always happy to be here, honestly.
Yeah.
Any more extra shows you do, just give us a shout. We'll be here.
And by the
And
way,
thank you everyone who listened. Thank you.
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, like I said, this is especially, I want this to be for the listeners. I want you guys to be able to listen to this while you're going to sleep, or you guys are just chilling at school doing homework, something, because Star Wars is such a great thing. And first off, for the people that I hopefully am able to get this on YouTube for, hopefully I can get this on Spotify soon. There will be a link to the Discord to hear about announcements, chat with some of the podcasters, me specifically, and then some of the special guests are going to be in there, just chilling, having a grand old time. And if you have any questions you guys want us to discuss on future streams, make sure to message them in there. But yeah, this was just another Star Wars podcast. Thank you once again to my guests, and I'm Ash, and I'm Gibbs8 Gaming. This is Snips. This is Yoda. We're signing out. Good night, everybody.